Peak Performance Coach AJ Madden here. Today we will cover principle number 4, make the hard choice. This is from our 7 principles from 1% Warrior, the Code of Success. Now available on Amazon and my website, coachajmadden.com. Please pick yourself up a copy. Principle number 4, make the hard choice. Let's start out with a quote from Ed Milet. The comfortable road will never lead you to the person you were destined to be. What is the hard choice? Here's my definition of the hard choice. The single hardest thing that you can do in any given situation. The one emotionally most challenging thing that you can do in any given situation. And the hard choice to me is a Swiss Army knife of success. It is the best way I know of to overcome your number one challenge. It is the best way I know of to achieve your most important goal. It is the fastest and most effective way I know of to improve your confidence in a short period of time. And it is also a common habit of the happiest and most successful people that I know. And if I could only teach one principle out of the 500 plus principles, habits, exercises that I've learned, taught, and practiced over the last 20 years, it would be this one. It is making the hard choice. Let's talk about a test to know if it is the hard choice in any given situation at any time. Number 1, it makes you a little scared, nervous, or apprehensive, or a lot. And number 2, it is simple and straightforward. It is a straight line to success. That's a test that you'll know if you're making the hard choice. Here's 3 questions that I use to identify the hard choice. 1, what is the single hardest thing I can do? 2, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? And 3, what would the most confident version of myself do? Here's a quote from Jerzy Gregorek. If you are ever at the crossroads of making a difficult decision, always ask yourself, what is the hard choice? Take that path. This is your golden compass. This is your North Star. This is that points you to the most efficient and effective path you can take to achieving a goal or overcoming a challenge. Let's talk about master key number 1, which is the power of no. And here's a quote from Russell Brunson. You will need to put up barriers to protect your time so you can serve more people. And no is a complete sentence. No is one of my favorite words because it allows us to focus on, like we talk about in the previous principle, number 3, to lock in on what's the one thing, what's the highest impact activity. That's what no does, right? We want to say no to things that don't bring us joy and don't bring us growth. We want to say no to things that don't bring joy and growth to others. It goes both ways. Warren Buffett says the key to his success, in his words, was saying no to 99 out of 100 solicitations of his time and attention that didn't get him closer to his 1 or 2 most important goals. This is the power of no. And here's a quote from Steve Jobs. Innovation is not about saying yes to everything. It's about saying no to all but the most critical features. And let's talk about master key number 2, telling the truth today. Here's a quote from Patrick Lencioni, leadership expert and best-selling author. To love someone is to tell the truth even if you are going to suffer for it. To love someone is to tell them the truth even if you are going to suffer for it. People secretly want to know the truth. They want it. And by not telling the truth and not always letting people know where you stand and where they stand, you are robbing them of the right to grow and also to understand you. And if you tell the truth out of service and sincerity, people can handle the truth. Where people cannot handle the truth is when you are doing it to create a win-lose situation where you win, they lose. You are trying to step on them, hurt them, hold them down, hurt their feelings. That's when people cannot handle the truth. They can handle it when you care deeply about them, when you are saying it, again, out of service and sincerity. You can tell people pretty much anything. I've yet to find an exception. As long as it is true and as long as it is a place, you're coming from a place out of service and sincerity, and you are trying to create a win-win situation, a win for them. And people who tell us the truth, the people I'm most grateful for in my life are the ones who are the most honest with me. And it started from day one with my parents. They always tell me the truth and set high standards and challenge me to be better and do better things and do the right thing. And it all started there. And they're the people I'm the most grateful for in my life because they always did that from day one. They always told the truth today. They let me know where I stand and where they stand. And I tell people, hug those people that are honest with you, that don't just tell you what you want to hear or have a truth that they believe about you and say it behind your back and not to you. Be grateful for the people that tell you the truth. Many times people slap the hand of the people who tell them the truth, who are honest with them. And they wonder why they're not getting 360 feedback about maybe things that they could be doing better, or maybe, for example, they're treating other people poorly, or they have a habit of always being late, or they cancel at the last minute, or they don't follow through on their goals. All kinds of habits that could be affecting other people. And we must hug those people. Instead of slapping the hand back, we must hug them and tell them thank you, the people that are the most honest with us. Say thank you. Do the opposite of the majority. Most people do not tell us the truth because they may feel like it hurts our feelings and they're doing it out of care, essentially, or they don't know how to do it, maybe in a way that it lands properly. And again, as long as you're doing it out of service and sincerity, then you can tell people the truth in your life. If you're a leader, you can tell people the truth in your organization. If it comes from a place of care, you can be honest with people. And most people don't do this. They don't practice radical candor, unfortunately. And here's a quote from Mark Cole. Caring is valuing the person. Candor is valuing the person's potential. And I really try to see people as the best version of themselves, as the highest version of themselves. That's how I see people. That's the lens I look at through the world. That's the filter I look at people through. I see them as the best version of themselves, and I challenge them to be that because I can see it in there. Sometimes you can see things in people they don't see in themselves. Or sometimes you can pour gas on a fire in terms of what they know. People know their potential, and they know the best version of themselves. You can pour gas on that fire and that potential. Here's a quote from Mel Robbins. It's okay to be scared. Being scared means that you're about to do something really, really brave. And if you're afraid to tell the truth today and have these difficult conversations, I'm going to give you a quick 7-step framework that you can do this effectively. One is if you think you need to tell the truth to have a tell the truth today conversation, then 100% do it. Number 2, the best time to have your tell the truth today conversation is yesterday. The second best time is now. Number 3, it's almost never as bad as you think it will be. Number 4, keep it simple and to the point and practice what you'll say in advance. Number 5, make it a conversation, not a confrontation. Boy, that is a key rule. Make it a conversation, not a confrontation. There's a huge difference there. The energy that you bring to that. Number 6, always let people keep their dignity. So if you have to tell the truth today and point something out that you think they could do better or something they're doing wrong, maybe rubbing people the wrong way or some other bad habit they have, let them keep their dignity by doing it one-on-one. Have a conversation with them one-on-one. That doesn't mean you can sometimes do it through an email or a text message, but many times that message can get misconstrued and lost in translation. So to me, the best way to do it, as long as you can do it safely, is to have that one-on-one conversation and let them keep their dignity. And if there's a safety issue and you need to have someone else around to have that conversation, then absolutely do that. Use your best judgment there. And number 7 is be a true believer that they can change for the better. We have to believe in people. That's the Pygmalion effect. And that is the effect that your belief in someone's ability actually affects their performance. That is a huge deal. And that is just such an important effect and principle for leaders, parents, anyone in a leadership position or friends. Be a true believer in people. Be a true believer in their potential and and their ability to change and improve. Here's a quote from Penn State football coach James Franklin. You can be unbelievably demanding and challenging on people if they know how much you care. And that is an absolute true story. And I really like that quote. Master key number 3, high standards. High standards. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And this is about setting high standards for the people that you let into your life. Because all we have is time. And our time is precious. And we must let people into our life, to me, that bring 2 things to you. They either bring you joy or growth, or both. Joy or growth or both. Someone who brings us growth is, again, someone who tells us the truth, challenges us directly to be better, believes in us that we can be better, teaches us something new that we didn't learn. And joy is just someone who brings happiness and love and enjoyment to our lives. So I challenge you to set high standards for the people in your life. Do they bring you joy, or do they bring you growth? And if they bring you both, outstanding. Prioritize time with those people and thank them as much as you can. Be grateful for having those kind of people that bring you joy and also bring you growth. And you can do a simple exercise where you write down all the people that you spend the most time with. An easy way to figure this out: look in your cell phone and look in your text message and calls and see who you text message and talk to the most. Make a list of 10, 20, 30 people and circle the people that bring you joy and circle the people that bring you growth, and prioritize time with them and be grateful for them. Now, the people that do the opposite, that bring negativity, that waste our time in our life, we need to take a serious look at how much time we want to spend with that person. And first off, we can address that person directly. We can tell the truth today and let them know how we feel about the situation. And just be honest. And sometimes you have to be honest more than once. And sometimes you have to be honest for the rest of your life. If it's a close friend or family member that maybe you don't want to remove from your life, then we just have to continue to be honest with them. But sometimes the best thing we can do is walk away from a bad relationship, or even run away from a bad relationship. This is setting high standards for everyone in your life, which is one of the most important things you can ever do. Brian Tracy says, avoid negative people at all costs. They are the greatest destroyers of self-confidence and self-esteem. That's a brilliant quote. If you found this video useful, please hit like and subscribe. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone that you believe will also find it helpful. You can pick up a copy of 1% Warrior Black Code of Success on Amazon.com or my website, CoachAJMadden.com. And if you'd like to improve any area of your life, this is essentially 20 years worth of research, practice, experience, and coaching wrapped up into one book. I tried to put the absolute best of the best that I've learned, things that I've found the most useful in my life. And I challenge you, I wish you success and happiness, and I challenge you to continue to make the hard choice in your everyday life, big and small.